is Monday.com and you're looking to outsource the Monday.com project management or the daily management of the tasks and the automations and just taking care of the whole overall Monday.com system. Well, you're in luck because that's what we're going to be diving into today. How you can outsource your Monday.com management to a virtual assistant so that you don't have to look after it anymore. Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm the founder and CEO of Level Up Outsourcing. We are a virtual assistant agency. We pair international business owners with online experts in the Philippines to help save time and increase the profitability in your business. So if you're ready to outsource your Monday.com management, this is the video for you. Let's dive in. Alrighty, so we are diving into how you can start to outsource your Monday.com project management. But before we even get to Monday.com, we need to start with something else. We need to start with mapping out your client workflow and what needs to happen in Monday.com and in the whole process, really, like your whole client journey, so that we know what type of automations and what things to set up in Monday.com. So this is something that I mapped out a little while ago, and it was very helpful for me and my team to know the exact steps that every single client needs to go through and every step that the HR team needs to take to onboard a virtual assistant, because that's our service, is onboarding team members and virtual assistants. So we have HR team members here. We have team leaders. So this would be, if you're a service-based business, this would be like your client fulfillment team. What do they need to do? What are all the steps that they need to take when they're onboarding a new client? This is my operations manager here. This is obviously me, and this is the client, because there are some expectations and action items that we need from the client as well, and then the virtual assistant for when we onboard them. So the first thing that I did was just mapped out a bit of a timeline of all of the different I guess the ideal timeline that we need to follow for the clients in their first, this is up to their first, the end of their second week. We actually just duplicated week 2 for week 3 and week 4 in their first month, and then ongoing as well. So what are the ongoing things that need to happen? So this for us is the first stage, like the client will pay the onboarding fee. That's the first stage, the first thing that needs to happen. And then I'll send the job description. After they pay, we send them examples of the SOP documents they need to create. And then HR needs to start getting into action as well. So they need to post the job description online and start sourcing and interviewing candidates once they apply. Now, your client fulfillment team might look very different based on what you actually offer. So let's say you're a digital marketing agency, you might have your account manager here. Then you might have instead of breaking it up by like team leaders or different departments, you could have it broken up by the different services that you offer. So for example, you could have social media management package, Facebook ads package, web design package, SEO package. Maybe those are the 4 main packages that you want to start automating and outsourcing your Monday.com management for. So you could map out all of the steps that need to happen when somebody signs up to that particular package, if that makes sense. So that is the first step. Just as a bit of a rough idea of the timeline. So our process is sort of like 2 steps. So we get the initial onboarding fee, and then there is a 1 to 2 week period where we're finding and sourcing the candidates for the client before they actually get started with their membership. So ours is like a 2-step sales process. We get the 150, and then it isn't until intro call 4 days. Okay. So we don't get their membership payment until down here on day 1. So as you can see, we've got a countdown of the things that need to happen before they pay their membership fee. So this could be a countdown for you. It could be a countdown of things that need to happen before we go live with their Facebook ad campaigns or start posting on their social media. Whatever it is, we just want to start mapping out the timelines and getting really clear on the steps that need to happen in the whole process so that we can make sure that every client has the exact same experience. Now, from this, I would suggest you put it in a spreadsheet like this, just because it's very easy to visually see. And then you'll be able to look at which of these tasks need to happen in Monday.com. So, for example, for us, this needs to happen. This needs to be a task in Monday.com. So when I did this process, I went through and I highlighted all of the things in here that need to be a task in Monday.com. So for example, for the client, book the intro call, we don't necessarily need to have a task in Monday.com for the client to book the intro call, but it needs to be for Jess, my operations manager, to send them the link to book in for the call. So as you can see, like, we would need to highlight different tasks based on what needs to happen and if it's something that needs to go into Monday.com or not. Now, with your Monday.com and my Monday.com, I actually have two different sections. So I have a client onboarding board, and then I have a virtual assistant onboarding board. So for you, again, let's use the example of a digital marketing agency. You would have a client onboarding board, and then you would have different boards for all of the services that you offer. So Facebook ads management, social media ads management, website design, and SEO. You could have 4 different boards and then different automations set up in each board depending on what needs to happen in that workflow. So I'm going to jump over into Monday.com and just start showing you this, because I think it's easier to show you than to try and explain it with a spreadsheet. So this is our customer onboarding board in Monday.com. I will scroll down past the database. So we have set up different groups. They're called groups in Monday.com. I've set up different groups in here depending on where the clients are at in the process. So they correlate here. They correlate with the timeline that I've put into here. So we've got paid the onboarding fee, candidates are ready, booked intro call, like day 1, week 1, that sort of stuff. So you can see here they sort of correlate, like test task being completed. That's something that we offer. Intro call booked. Then we've got intro call complete, awaiting start date, sending contract, waiting to sign, ready, awaiting start date, paid, and Slack channel created. Week 1 of membership, week 2 to 4 of membership. We have a lot that are in there. And then ongoing, we have no OM, that's the old business, my old business name. I think some of these 2 to 4 weeks need to be moved down, which I'll have a chat to Jess about. Obviously, I am getting him to manage my Monday.com, and that's one area that he needs to improve, is moving those tasks down. As you've just seen, they're not all in the right section. But the majority of them are in the right section for the initial recruiting phase and the onboarding phase for us, which is the most important phase. So that is good. So you can start to map out your client onboarding phases and put them in as groups. If you're not sure how to add a group, you can just click add. No, sorry, that is not correct. Hold on. Cool. So if you're not sure how to add a group, you can just click this 3 little dots here and click add group. So for each different stage of your onboarding process, you want to have a group that is planned out for that in your Monday.com board. And then it will be the same with your client fulfillment boards as well. So again, going back to the example of a digital marketing agency, let's say this is a social media management board. And so when somebody onboards into the social media management package, when they're maybe instead of awaiting onboarding, it would be booked in for demo calls so that we can demonstrate the system that you're going to build out for them, and get some information from them. And then maybe it could be a waiting for onboarding documentation, because when you start managing people's social media, you need to get their passwords, their branding, their logos, all of that sort of stuff. Then it would be creating month one of content calendar or content strategy or something like that. And then we could obviously have like month 2, month 3, or obviously you'll know the best way to structure it based on your workflows in your business. But I would definitely recommend that you map out all of the processes and the steps that need to happen when you're onboarding clients into each of your packages. So we want to make sure that you have a customer onboarding board. These are called boards over here, if you don't know. And then instead of like we have different workspaces, but if you really wanted to just keep it simple, you could just add a new board for social media management onboarding, website design onboarding. What else did I say? Facebook ads management onboarding, and there was one other service. I can't remember what I said, but you can just click here, new board, and just add a new one for each and start to plan out all of your phases. Now, in terms of setting up the automations, and the different tasks that need to happen for each client. So as you can see here, when I drop this down, so this is onboarding in progress. We're still we've just either posted their job description online or we are conducting the interviews. So very, very early on. But essentially, I have planned out all of the tasks in here that need to happen in the whole client and customer onboarding phase. So we can see there's 15 different steps that need to happen in our client onboarding phase. Yours might be different. And so the very first thing, and this is one of the really good ways to get somebody else to manage it, is if the first task we make, the first subtask is to assign somebody as the project owner. So for us, it's the HR officer. Assign HR officer, set onboarding dates, and the package. So Cindy, who is in charge of this, she will then go into the virtual assistant section, the VA onboarding section, which is in a different workspace for us. It's down here. But once she gets this task notification, she will go in and she will set the dates in the other board. She'll assign the people, and she will assign the package that they're signing up to as well. So you wouldn't need to assign the package if you were doing the digital marketing example that we did, because we'd already know what package they're signing up for based on the contract that they signed. And then we just start to plan out every task that needs to happen in the onboarding phase. Now, I know this looks like a lot of tasks to create every single time that you have a new client that onboards. However, we don't do this. Monday.com does this in an automation. So to set up automations, you can click here and it will load in a second. So this is the main one that we use for all of those subtasks that I just showed you. So when an item is created, so when you create a new item with the client name, it is create sub item, create sub item, create sub item. You can do unlimited amount of sub items. We have set up those sub items. There's 15 of them, as I just showed you, with all of the tasks planned out, and they get assigned to certain people. So I might click into this and show you. So when you create a sub item, you can assign certain people to it, and you can assign a status so that every time that sub item gets created, those people are assigned. So me and Daisy are assigned in this one, and the status is set to do, or the status is set to awaiting action or needs to be done, something along those lines. And then everyone, when these sub items get created, everyone gets a notification saying, hey, you've been assigned this new sub item. So that is a fantastic way. Starting to set some of these up, these automations, is a fantastic way to start to outsource the management of your Monday.com to Monday.com. You don't even need anyone to manage that. It can just be to Monday.com. So to set that up, you go to the Automation Center. And this has been one of the most game-changing automations that we've set up for our Monday.com management. It's been really, really good. Where's sub item? I might just search for it. Okay, here we go. I might just create my own. So you can also create your own. It's very easy. So when this happens, so we go when item created, then, and we'll search for sub item. Oh, sub task, what is it? Oh, create sub item. There we go. Create a sub item. Now your sub item, I would suggest creating them in order. If you create them out of order, then it does it out of order every single time. I didn't originally create them in order, and it was a nightmare. So start with one, start with the first thing that needs to happen. Put one, assign task owner, and set due dates. Something like that, whatever the first step is in the client onboarding or in the services that you offer. And then you can assign a person. So let's say me, that I'm the first person that needs to do that. And then the status is to do. And then you just click out of that and you can click create automation. I'm not going to create it now because I don't want to do that. But that is essentially how you set it up, so that every time a new client signs up and every time a new item is created with the client name, it will create the subtasks here, like I've showed you. It's a game changer. It has helped our business so much in terms of making sure that things don't get missed, making sure that every client has the exact same onboarding experience. And this really helps with just automating the whole process as much as possible. Now, once you have set these automations up, then all you need to do is have a call with your team members and brief them and say, hey, moving forwards, we're going to have all of these sub items that will be created. Let's use my team member, Cindy, for example. When the task is first created, Cindy is going to go in, she's going to set the onboarding dates, she's going to assign all of the relevant people and set the package. And so you just tell them that. And then Cindy knows every day when she logs in, if there's a new item, I need to go in and assign the people and set the due dates and manage all the tasks. And then Cindy will be able to follow up with the team. Hey, this task hasn't been done by this due date. What's going on? Why is it not being done? And she'll be able to start managing the people and managing the task. So whoever's in your business, like either your admin assistant, your project manager, operations manager, account manager, like somebody in that like admin-y, accounting, like not accounting, project management space, it would be best to assign them this role, and they'll be the person that's managing the majority of your Monday.com so that you don't have to. Now, I know that can be a lot of information to take in, but really it's only 3 steps. Plan out your tasks and the onboarding that needs to happen for your clients and all of your packages. Plan out all of the tasks. Create the Monday.com board and the automations here with all of the tasks, and then brief your team and tell them that, hey, Cindy's going to be in charge of this moving forwards. I'm not going to be doing it anymore. And then Cindy will be able to take over. So it doesn't have to be this big crazy thing in your head. Just plan the tasks, set up the automation once, and then Cindy will manage it moving forwards, or your version of Cindy will manage it moving forward. So that is essentially how you can start to outsource your Monday.com management, and then you don't have to do it anymore, which is really, really cool. So if you would like some support with managing your Monday.com, if you want somebody else to do that for you, please make sure to shoot us an email because we'll be able to help you out. hello@levelupoutsourcing.com, and we will find you a Monday.com expert that can manage the whole system and manage your team for you. And if you found value in this video, if you've enjoyed it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notifications as to when we put out new videos. And until the next episode, I'll see you later. Bye.